What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Darren, the bow tie fragrance guy. I love to look good and I love to smell amazing. Today I want to talk to you guys about my top 10 fragrances from one of my favorite niche houses, which is the house of Bond Number 9. Bond Number 9 to me gets a lot of slack. You know, just in all, you know, when I look on fragrance forums, reviews, things of that nature, there's a good bit of people out there that just kind of don't seem to like this fragrance house for whatever reason. Synthetic, generic, which I can't stand when people apply those words to fragrances, but whatever the case may be, it seemed to get a lot of bad press, but I don't care what other people think. I'm pretty sure you guys know this about me by now. I march to the beat of my own drum. I've said it before, and I will continue to say that. If I like a fragrance, guess what? I'm gonna rock the fragrance. So tonight, I'm gonna feature my top 10 fragrances from the house of Bond Number 9. They have a lot of good fragrances to offer, and I'm gonna bring a few of those fragrances to the forefront for you tonight. So if you wanna know what those 10 fragrances are, you already know the routine. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, I'm back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into the list. I do have one honorable mention tonight, and this one is Bond Number 9, the Hamptons. The best way to describe this fragrance right here is, if you have ever smelled Silver Mountain Water by Creed, then you pretty much have smelled the Hamptons by Bond Number 9. Now, again, I know that's one of the reasons that some people kind of knock the house. There are a few fragrances on the list, a few fragrances in this house overall that resemble some more popular fragrances, and I get it. But at the end of the day, there is something a little bit different about this one. It's not a direct clone of Silver Mountain Water, but it does smell really close. But I really do enjoy it by that same token. It doesn't have that kind of inky vibe that you get from Silver Mountain Water, so that's missing from it. It's a little bit softer, a little bit more floral, but it does remind you of that. But again, it's a good fragrance. I love wearing this one in the summer and spring months. So again, definitely good. That's why I made the list at least as an honorable mention. This is Bond Number 9's The Hamptons. Coming in at the 10th spot, I've talked about this fragrance a couple times on my channel. Very different fragrance. Again, I haven't smelled anything out there that smells anything like this fragrance from the house of Bond Number 9. This is Manhattan. Now this one to me is a little bit more of an acquired taste. Some very unique notes in this one. It has peach and gingerbread. So, you know, not two notes that are used too often in perfumery, but it makes for a very interesting fragrance. It opens up very, very, very smoky, but slightly fruity. And have some other resinous notes in here as well, but it's a good fragrance, man. It's very, very, again, unique, kind of complex, and that's one of the things I like about it, really the uniqueness of this fragrance. Again, the way the fruitier notes kind of merge and combine with the more darker notes, it makes it a very interesting fragrance right here, and I love this stuff. So that's why I made the 10th spot. This is Manhattan. The next fragrance on the list, I don't hear anything about this fragrance ever. I think if you look this fragrance up, you probably won't find any reviews. So if you guys want to hear a review on this fragrance once I introduce it, leave it down in the comments, because I think it's kind of a hidden gem, honestly, if you ask me. Again, I haven't seen any reviews on it, maybe one or two, maybe. But this is, of course, from the house of Bond Number 9, and this is I Love New York for Him. I love the bottle. You don't get to see many this kind of royal blue color right here, but man, this stuff is good. It has like a very zesty opening. It has grapefruit, it has ginger, so it's kind of, again, citrusy, kind of tangy, zesty opening that you get with this, but it has a really nice kind of smoky, leathery, musky dry down. Again, I love this stuff, man. Again, I haven't smelled anything like this one as well out there in the fragrance community. Just a very different scent. I just love the DNA of most Bond Number 9 fragrances, and this one is no different. This one is I Love New York for Him. The next fragrance on the list is a beautiful scent, a very simple note breakdown. This is Bond number 9 signature scent. And I think it's really simple note breakdown. This has oud, it has rose, and I think it has tonka bean. Man, this stuff is so gorgeous, man. This fragrance, probably out of all my fragrances in my collection, the oil residue that you see when you spray the fragrance on stays probably the longest. This is a very, very highly concentrated fragrance right here. It's an eau de parfum, but again, it's really highly concentrated. It sticks around a long time on my skin. It's not a big projector, but it sits closely. It's sweet. Again, it has a nice oud rose combination going on with this stuff. Absolute beauty. Definitely a unisex, men or women could wear this, but I love this stuff, man. It's from the House of Bond number 9. This is the signature scent. The next fragrance on my list is a discontinued gem. It's very hard to find this fragrance nowadays, and if you do find it, it's going to be fetching a pretty heavy penny. This is none other than New Harlem. You've probably heard people say this before, but the best way to describe this fragrance is it smells like pancakes, syrup and pancakes. So it may not be the most, the easiest to wear fragrance because, you know, some people it's kind of hard to pull off smelling kind of like syrup all day. People think that you spill your breakfast all over yourself, but other than that, man, it's just, again, a classic fragrance. This is one of the fragrances that really ushered in gourmand scents. This and Amen, the original Amen, kind of ushered in and got people used to and accustomed to kind of transitioning away from the more citrusy and aquatic scents like Acquadigio and starting to help people appreciate scents like this that were gourmand or had that classification to it. But it's just, it's beautiful. It's classic. Again, I'm so happy to have this bottle in my collection because, again, it's hard to find right now. I'm just glad to say that I own this stuff. This is from Bond number 9. This is New Harlem. The next Bond number 9 scent that I want to talk about tonight is Shay Bond. And this fragrance smells a lot like Green Irish Tweed. And I said it before, it's not a direct clone. This one is a little bit more, gives you a little bit more of a citrus vibe to it than the green accords that you get from Green Irish Tweed. Again, it's really, really similar. Won't try to deny that at all. It's very similar, but again, this one does something a little bit different from Green Irish Tweed. I would honestly say if this were not so similar to Green Irish Tweed, it probably would have been higher on the list. Like if no Green Irish Tweed existed, and this was like the trailblazer for this kind of scent DNA, then it would probably be higher on the list because it does smell really, really good. If you like Green Irish Tweed, you'll like this one as well. Again, this is from the House of Bond number 9. This is Shay Bond. The next fragrance that I want to talk about from the House of Bond number 9 is called Sag Harbor. Sag Harbor. Great scent to wear in the spring and summertime. This is one of the ones that sometimes guys shy away from a little bit because it is a unisex fragrance, but it's so good. It honestly reminds me, I don't know why, but this one reminds me a little bit of the Bond number 9 signature scent. I don't think they actually share any notes, any of the same notes, but it kind of puts me in the mindset of Bond number 9 the Bond number 9 signature scent. This just has more floral accords that you get with this one. It doesn't have any oud or anything like that in it, but maybe it's the florals that I get with this, and maybe what that rose comes off as in the signature scent that kind of makes me think about the two when I smell them. But man, this is some good stuff. If you've never put your nose on Sag Harbor, I definitely recommend you doing so because this is a good one. This next fragrance I've talked about here recently on my channel from the House of Bond number 9. Of course, this is Eau de New York. This is now the summer king for me in my niche fragrance collection, man, because it's so invigorating when you smell it. If you've never put your nose on it, that's probably what your reaction is going to be as well. When you get a whiff of this from the atomizer, this stuff will wake you up. The citruses and this jump out at you. This fragrance is loud, but it's really, really good. If you are a citrus fragrance lover, then you will absolutely love Old Day New York from Bond number 9. If you haven't put your nose on it, I advise you do so. Summertime is right around the corner, and although we don't know whether or not we'll be able to get out and about like we normally do, it's still a good one to have in your collection for hot weather. This is Old Day New York. All right, guys, we're down to the final 3 fragrances on this list. And the third spot for me, these last 3 really hold a special place in my heart in this collection. This one is Bond number 9's Centerpiece. And I'm not wearing a bow tie tonight. I'm taking it a little bit easy, so this will represent for me tonight my bow tie on Centerpiece. I love the bottle, of course, with the bow tie, and I love the way this scent smells. A lot of people compare this to a vintage. I don't get that so much. I mean, it does have pineapple and black currant in it, and of course, when you have 2 notes that are similar to a vintage, people are going to make that comparison. But honestly, to me, they don't really smell it too much alike. I would say maybe 30-40% similar, but again, not really that close. This one has a grapefruit note in it as well, and it makes it very different. This comes off the skin very different than a vintage. It's not that smoky either, but you get the fruity vibe that you get from a vintage. The black currant, again, this as well, but it's different, and I love it. This is one of my most complimented fragrances from Bond number 9, and I love this stuff from the bottle to the fragrance. I love everything about Centerpiece. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you probably know what these top 2 fragrances are because I've mentioned it before. But in the second spot is BLEECKER St. It is BLEECKER St. Definitely my favorite bottle presentation in the entire collection. I would probably say over the past 5 or 6 months, this fragrance moved to second place in my Bond number 9 collection for my number 1. It used to be my number 1, and I've talked about my reasons why before. It's such a, to me, a kind of complex scent when you have gourmand notes like caramel and blueberry and cinnamon, but then you have all these green, fresh accords. It's fresh, but at the same time it's gourmand. And that's why I love this fragrance so much. Again, not to mention the fact that this is probably definitely in my top 5 bottle presentations in my entire collection. I love the green bottle with the purple top. It's got a lot going on, but I think the bottle is very indicative of what the scent smells like. There's some kind of complexity and a lot going on in there, but when you combine them together, it makes this beauty right here, which is BLEECKER St. And last but not least, I hate to be anticlimactic. You probably know what this are, so I'm not going to take too much time with it. This is Bond number 9, New York Oud. I did a full review on this fragrance recently, which I will link down below. Because if you haven't had a chance to check out my review on Bond number 9, New York Oud, I talked about it a lot. My wife mentioned this fragrance as one of her favorites in my entire collection because it's really that good. This one is another Bond number 9 fragrance that has rose and oud, 2 feature notes in this fragrance, and it's a gem. I love this stuff. I will never be without it. This is already my 2nd bottle, and I love everything about this one right here. I get a lot of positive attention, a lot of compliments. I wear it, the wife wears it. We love it. I love it from the house of Bond number 9. In the number 1 spot, this is New York Oud. Okay guys, that's my time. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with me, and I sincerely appreciate that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos out to other people that you think could use this information or find me entertaining. And guys, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you don't miss any videos and content that I will be releasing from this channel. Because I'm your boy Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good and I love to smell amazing. So until next time guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.